In this video, I'm going to be pulling back the curtains on this software to tell you why I think this is one of the best softwares for porn accountability. It does that really well, but also I'm going to be comparing it a bit to other options, and so that you can figure out if this is the best option for you. And if you want a free trial of Accountable2You for 10 days, then you can use my promo link, which I'll put right down in the description below. Hey guys, Benji here, helping you quit porn and masturbation for good. Before we get started, I want to introduce to you two really good videos on this channel that you can watch right after this one. One of them is going to be a stacking up video of all the top 5 porn filtering accountability softwares out there. I reviewed them in depth and used them. I'm gonna stack them up against each other side by side so that you can make the best decision. That video is gonna be right down below. The second video that you should really watch after this one is how to quit pornography, my step-by-step guide that I use to help guys through this process. At the end of this video, I want to give you guys my 21-day reboot workbook totally for free with a promo code. I'm gonna give that to you at the end of this video. I'm gonna tell you if you should get this software or not, and I'm going to review it from the perspective of a past porn addict myself, as a parent, and as a certified sexual addiction consultant that has helped guys over the last 10 years beat porn for good. So let's jump right in. We're going to cover how the software works, we're going to cover how much it costs, and we're going to talk about the limitations and whether or not I recommend it to you for your own porn recovery journey or for your family. Accountable2You is one of the leading softwares for porn accountability reporting. Their message is really clear that they really focus primarily on the porn accountability reporting software part of it and not so much on the filtering and blocking part of it. Usually softwares have two focuses, two features: the reporting and accountability part, which is kind of the connection and actually having conversations with your accountability partner, whoever you designate. And then there's also the porn blocking filtering that actually blocks you from watching content. They actively state that they don't focus so much on the filtering because they believe that the most effective way to recover from a porn addiction and habit is to have accountability and conversations as opposed to just controlling the habit. But I'm going to explain to you how you can do porn filtering and blocking on devices, even though it's not a main feature of this software, because I know that's really important for you guys to do. Or by the way, there's a free trial for you. If you use the link right down in the description, you can get a free trial for this software. How it works is that once you get the software, you purchase it, you download it onto your device, and any device that you have it on, the software is granted permission to view the content on your phone and monitor the activity on your phone at all times. So if any content is suggestive or pornographic in nature or is categorized by the software, by the AI as inappropriate, it sends a report and a notification to the assigned accountability partner. And that's also part of the setup process, is once you get the software, you designate an accountability partner, you enter their email address and their name, and they're sent an email saying that, you know, so-and-so, you would like accountability, and they receive your request by email. One thing that is really unique to Accountable2You is that it does instant text messaging alerts. This is really cool, actually, and it's the only software I've seen that's done this, that I know of, is that they send instant text messages to the accountability partner when you do view any content that's pornographic in nature. And the texting alert feature is really useful to have if you are getting really serious about beating the habit and want that instant accountability and have a way to have instant access to your partner so that you can have a conversation and that they can check in with you how you're doing. It's also helpful to know and have the peace of mind that if you do view content on your device, your partner will instantly get a message letting them know. So it's kind of a good situation for you trying to quit porn. The other unique feature on this that I haven't really seen on any other software except for like NetNanny, which is GPS location tracking. Now, this is a feature that you can enable or disable depending on your preference, but if it's something that's important to you, especially if you're a parent or especially if you really want your accountability partner to know where you are at all times, then this is a really good feature to have. So you might be wondering how the software identifies content as pornographic, because there are a lot of apps and websites and different kinds of social media that you can find pornographic content on. And how does it know to monitor those things? Well, this software uses text-based reporting and accountability and filtering. So it monitors and has a whole list of different types of software, social media apps that it monitors. And it does not use AI like a lot of the other softwares use, like Covenant Eyes, etc. And those AIs usually will take screenshots of your activity on your device occasionally throughout the day and then report those screenshots. So in that situation, it doesn't matter how you view the content because the AI is always taking photos of your device. In this case, for Accountable2You, they monitor all types of apps, websites, platforms, incognito, text messages, GPS location, and all of that. The pricing for Accountable2You is actually very reasonable, and they do have a free trial, which I really like, if you use my link, which is right down below in the description. So it's $9 a month for an individual, and that's up to 6 devices, which is plenty. And for families, up to 20 devices, it's $14 a month for the family. Or you could save some money and do the annual subscription, which I do recommend because it kind of makes you more committed to doing it long term, and that's $84 for a whole year, or it's $144 for a whole year for a family, and that's a really good deal. And I think that's a pretty good deal considering you get the peace of mind, you get the accountability, you get the conversations, all of that wrapped up into one for just $84 for one person or $144 for a family. It's a good deal. The devices that you can use Accountable2You software on include all Apple products, iPhone, Mac, MacBook, Androids, Windows computer, as well as Linux, which is actually very unique. So you can use it on any device, and especially if you have Linux, then this is definitely the option for you. All right, now time for the pros and cons of Accountable2You. There are a lot of pros, which I really like because there are some things that this thing does that other softwares don't do. And the cons, there are a few cons I'm a little bit concerned about that you should really know about. So the first major plus for me is that it is super helpful. Their team is incredibly helpful from the very beginning. When you go to their website, I haven't seen any other software that has so much documentation and helpful videos. A video right in the front of the homepage that says how this software works. That is so helpful to have, right? The second huge plus for me is the text messaging. I have actually not seen this in any other software. It's really cool to know that if you access content on your computer or your phone, your accountability partner will get a text message that said, so-and-so has just watched this and this. That's cool peace of mind, I must say. I think it's a good feature and definitely worth getting. The other pro here is the GPS location monitoring. This is something that if you want to use it is a really good thing. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. Now the main con and drawback, the minus here that you should consider is the porn filtering and blocking feature. Okay, I know that they don't focus on this and I understand why, because in the end, when you're really faced with an addiction, it's infinitely better to have more conversation as opposed to more control. So that's why they emphasize more on the accountability reporting side of it and not so much on the filtering and blocking side of it. However, as a past addict myself, as someone who has helped hundreds of guys go through the process of finding accountability and software and doing all this stuff, I can say with confidence that when an addict, where someone has the knowledge that they can access pornography, makes it a lot more tempting, and it's not really helpful when you're trying to avoid it, and there's always that temptation at the back of your mind to go back to it. And also, if you're a parent and you have small kids like I have, then that porn filtering and blocking can actually be very valuable because it doesn't expose your kids to disgusting, disturbing content from an early age. So that's why I have a solution for you guys. Regardless of what software you get, there's a feature in your device that you can turn on parental control and you can password protect it. And that's what's really important. They have Google has a built-in feature called Safe Search, and if you turn that on, it's really good at just blocking pornographic content. You just can't find it. So go into parental controls and whatever device you have, try to figure it out, and have your accountability partner or someone in your family, parent, spouse, whoever it may be, have somebody put a password protection on your parental control so you can't change it. So essentially, you're manually putting on porn blockers on your device and you're giving someone the password so you can't change it. I think that's a really good alternative and a really awesome free way to do this in a creative way. So overall, should you get this? This software is best for people that want really good accountability reporting, have that instant text messaging and the GPS location. If that's you, the price point is solid. I would definitely recommend this. The software is good, it's updated, it's up to date, and the team is really helpful on Accountable2You, and I would definitely recommend this to anyone that wants all of that. So here's the big question. Should you get accountability software? I do recommend it for most people, and that is because porn accountability software is a really, really good conversation starter. What I mean by that is in most cases, what people really need to overcome a porn habit is just to have conversations, just to have give and take with somebody about their habit. And the best way to start those conversations is just to have accountability and software send a report to somebody that you designate to receive those reports. Accountability software is really effective for families, especially with families with young kids, because it allows you to start conversations about the habit. However, porn accountability software sometimes is not so effective for people that have a very severe addiction to pornography. If you're wondering if someone has or if you have a severe addiction, check out other videos on this channel where I talk about the spectrum of addiction, and you can figure out exactly where you are on that spectrum. It's also not always so effective for adults who have an easy way to circumnavigate the system and find a way around the software to just get access to porn. Either way, I do recommend that you try software for you if you're a parent and doing it for your family, or if you're an individual looking for some accountability. This might be the one thing you need to do to get better. If you're struggling with porn and masturbation yourself, ask yourself this question: what have you been avoiding in your journey to overcoming your porn and masturbation habit? This is where the idea of the one thing comes into my process. The one thing is your thing that you need to do, that you know you need to do, but you're avoiding doing it because you're secretly trying to keep the habit close to the chest, and you're trying to keep the habit with you for as long as possible. So think about what the one thing is that you need to do. Write it down if you need to. Maybe you need to tell somebody. Maybe you need to tell a parent or your spouse, or maybe you need to get accountability. And that is the answer here. If your one thing is you need more accountability in your life, then absolutely get the software. Just do it. There's one guy that I was mentoring at one point who had a pretty severe porn habit, and I asked him, why don't you get software? Why don't you get some accountability in your life? And he kept putting it off and saying, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. That's not for me. I'm not the guy that does that. That's what he kept saying. And I asked him why. And I tried to dig a little deeper and figure out why was this such a roadblock for him to get the software. And I realized that this was his one thing that he needed to do, but he was trying not to do it because he secretly wanted to keep porn and masturbation as an emotional support system, as a crutch to go back to in his life whenever he was feeling stress or angry or negative emotions. So once he did it, and just realized that he was avoiding it because he didn't want to actually get better and he wasn't actually serious about getting better, then he started to get better because it was a thing, it was the biggest domino in his process, and he just needed to knock it over. Maybe the one thing you need to do is tell somebody about your habit. Maybe the one thing you need to do is subscribe to this YouTube channel. Or maybe the one thing you need to do is to get some accountability software. Or maybe you need to do the 21-day reboot, which I'm going to give you for free right now. In my experience, about 80% of men can predictably and powerfully quit porn for good within 21 days. The reason that they don't do it is because, like I've been talking about, they're not as serious as they think they are. If you're serious about getting better, if you're willing to do the work, and if you understand the impact that porn has had on your life, then this is the answer for you. You can get the 21-day reboot workbook for free right now at benuyama.com. You can use the promo code BEN, B-E-N, and get it totally for free. This is the exact 21-day process that I use for guys to help them reboot, rewire, detox, and actually recover from their porn habit, from starting with, what do you want to fill your life more with? The reason we use porn is because it's this escape system, escape mechanism from things in our lives that we're not excited about. How do you fill your life with things that are more thrilling, exciting, and not temporary anymore? How do you fill your life with thrill that is genuine and not the artificial thrill of pornography and masturbation? How do you fill your life with things that you're so excited about that pornography and masturbation just becomes an afterthought, something that just lives under your bed and you never think about? Also, be sure to watch my review where I stack up all 5 of the top porn accountability softwares and compare them. I'm going to put that video right here, and I'm going to put it right down in the description where you can check it out right now. If this video is helpful, then go ahead and smash the like button, because we are on a mission to help 1 million people beat porn for good. And also, if that's you, then consider subscribing and also watching other videos on this channel to help your momentum keep going. It's good to have you. Take care.